Team playing well.
Thank you.
As far as early in the year, just how do you feel? I watched your post game against Washington. Just in a blender, how would you feel the progression is when you started to where you are right now?
Yeah, I mean, it's Rashid's in the same situation here with, it's new staff, new style of play. And then, our roster's been so inconsistent with injuries and all the things. And so now I feel like we're finally hitting some momentum with the guys that we thought we'd have before the season. So we'll get Brink back eventually, and that'll be a boost for us too. So it's a long answer to your question, but I think there's a lot of layers to it. Like we're, most teams will probably say this, but we're farther along and we're playing better. But I feel like our schedule has been tough.
Yeah.
Strength of schedule, it was one going into the All-Star break. I don't know what it is now, but and then with all the injuries, and so we've just tried to keep perspective on the process of just continue to do what we do, and if we're going to lose, we're going to do it the right way and play the way we want to play, and have the culture we want. And I give the players a lot of credit. They've stayed bought in. They've stayed together. But yeah, we're on a little bit of a run here, and I think even before, who'd we lose to at home? Minnesota. Yeah, even before that, I thought we were playing well. So we're playing better, and a lot of that is time together on the court, and then just getting key pieces back.
Yeah, you called out your you thought your half-court defense was really good Tuesday.
Yeah.
You mentioned key is defense. So, what impact is Coach Trammell going to have kind of with your identity defensively? If you could take us through what went into that decision, what she can add to your staff and continue to progress defensively.
Yeah, I love the staff I have, but we didn't have a ton of WNBA experience. Mike Neighbors was longtime college head coach, me too. D-Rob was a longtime player, all-star player here, but didn't have any coaching experience. And Zach Bunsick was in Dallas for a couple of years. And so we had brought in LT as kind of a consultant for the beginning of the season, just to kind of, help with what about this and what about that. And so she's been around. And then at the end of the All-Star break, I kind of did a deep dive as to where we're doing well. I'm very much analytical and where we're not doing well. And, we're top 4 in every offensive category, and we're bottom 3 in most defensive ones. So it's like, okay, if we want to make a legit push to the playoffs, we've got to improve defensively. And, as a consultant, we have one of the best defensive coaches in the league.
Yeah.
So that was the genesis for that. So she's going to have a big role with our defense. And, she's not front of the bench, but she can still have a lot of impact and coming up with game plans. And she knows the players better than we do, and, the opposing players and all that. So it's already, I can tell, an impact. And even on Tuesday, 24 hours of her influence, we were better.
And she'll travel all year.
Yep.
Okay. I just have one more on Kelsey Plum. I think someone asked Erica a question about leadership, being vocal in timeouts, really quick snippets right before you have to get back on the court. We hope they retain something.
Yeah.
Right? So, but just specifically on Kelsey Plum, being a new place, she's kind of talked about this, and that's behind us now, halfway through the year. But where do you think she's at now in terms of allowing everybody to eat, and also on a night where she might have to go score for you? How is she maintaining that balance in the leader?
Good. It's a process too. She's learning. She's always, obviously in college she was the head of the snake at Washington, but with her time in Vegas, she was the second, third, fourth option. She's playing with 4 Olympians, and so she was a stud there and an impact player, but it wasn't necessarily her team, right? And I think she was ready for that challenge, which is why she's in LA. But she's a competitor at heart, and so she'll say what needs to be said. Whether you like it or not, she's going to say it, and you need to have somebody like that. And then you have De'Erica, who everybody calls Mama D, because she's just such a sweetheart and a caretaker. So it's a good kind of yin and yang with those two, and they work really well together, both on and off the court in that regard.
I know you can't necessarily speak to previous years, but what has stood out about Azri's development so far this year? What kind of has allowed her to unlock the best version of herself?
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to ask her that, but what I've seen, I think she's thriving in our system. You know, she's 6'6", but she's really like a wing. She's not really a post. And we play four guards, kind of four perimeter players. And she has the green light. So I think she's playing with a ton of confidence. And I'm a big believer in that. You know, every player, every human has things they can work on and get better. But I want them to feel really good about the thing they know they're good at. And so I've just poured confidence into Z. And I trust her. And I think what has enabled her is that she is unbelievably consistent. So she shows up every day the same way. And, you know, that's a skill. That's hard to do. And especially the high pressure and everything, performance-driven job, that's hard. But she's got a maturity to her and just a steady evenness that I think, coupled with, you know, she's playing with a lot of confidence, that's a good combo.
Is she someone you expected to produce at this level coming into the year? Has she surprised you at all through this first half of the season?
Well, I to be completely, every place I've kind of taken over has not been doing well, right? And so I've told every player, like, I don't care what's happened in the past. I didn't watch film on you guys last year. Like, it's a clean slate. And so, you know, show me who you are. So to answer your question, like, I didn't know what to expect. I was going to let her just, you know, establish the type of player she wanted to be in our system now.
What did she show you that kind of gave you that confidence?
She can flat out shoot it. She can shoot the leather off of it. And she's really, really smart. You know, that UConn pedigree. She's never in the wrong place ever. Defensively, offensively, she knows. And just that steady, man, she's just, and there, you know, as a coach, that's incredibly valuable. Just the low maintenance performer that wants to win more than anything. You know, I say it all the time, but the lack of attention that she gets is kind of head scratching. She deserves more, but I honestly don't think she cares. I mean, I think we all want to be recognized. I'm sure she wants to be recognized, but that's not what motivates her.
We'll go to Zoom now, Justin.
Hey, Coach. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Justin.
Good. I hope you're doing well. I have two De'Erica questions for you. Number one, she's operated quite a bit out of the elbow, as you know, operating as like fake DHOs and finding backdoor cutters and stuff. Number one, what has that done for your offense, and kind of does it feel to you like the cutters have gotten more acclimated to that skill? And number two, what have you seen out of her specifically as a screen setter? Because it does seem like she's really good with the angles of her screens and making herself available.
Yeah, well, I mean, the way we're playing, it's kind of 5 out, and De'Erica, we call her the hub, that position where they're, you know, pitching and giving it back and screening and rolling. There's a lot of freedom in it. There's obviously principles to it, but she's gotten a lot more comfortable in that role. I think it made her a little bit uncomfortable at first, but now she's getting more and more confident with it, understanding where she can attack from that spot. You know, she's best in space. She's so athletic. And so I'm figuring out too how to better use her. I think there's a learning curve there for me as a coach. But just her confidence has really, really grown, and understanding, you know, if you're setting 50 ball screens a game, you're going to get better at it, and understanding angles and all that. So she's done a good job.
Justin, did you have a second question?
Oh,
that was it? Okay. Cameron Ruby.
Hi, Coach. Cameron from The Next. I'm just hoping you could talk a little bit about what the two Julies have been doing for you lately, kind of with this shift. It seems like not a coincidence that, you know, the ball control has gotten better since the two of them have been on the floor, both together and separately. Just hoping you can talk a little bit about that.
yeah. Well, I think, you know, both of them have played at a high level and they're winners. They do not do losing well. And so when you have that mindset from your 2 point guards, that it's the high tide that rises all ships. And, I think we call her Lou. We have Julie and Lou, so as to not confuse the team. But, Lou's ability to shoot, she's streaky, but she's got the green light to see if she can get hot. I think that changes things. She plays with great pace. She's tremendous out of the pick and roll. And then Julie Alleman is just an absolute stud. And her ability to close games, and her stat line never really does justice to her impact on the game. But just really smart, competitive. She just always seems to know who needs the ball and where, and she gets it done. Her assist to turnover ratio has been insane the last month since she's been back from Eurobasket. So both of those guys, I think, have really helped raise the level of our execution, ball control in the half court. Most of our turnovers we have too many, but a lot of them are in transition, and it's kind of a double edge because I want them to play fast. And so you can't get mad at every turnover when they're trying to play the way you want them to play, but we can eliminate some of the silly ones. But the two Julies, we call them our Belgian cats. They've been great for us.
Thank you.
You bet.
Thanks, Coach. Thanks, everyone.
All right. See you after.